Now, a busy day down in here. Let me tell you, there's a lot of trees down in here. Now, ironically, I actually have a picture of this tree covered in snow on that corner before it fell. So I owe it the dignity of moving it off the trail and taking care of it properly, I guess. Yeah, there's about 150 cows down in here, which is great because it helps keep the trail open. But every now and again you keep hearing stuff rustling in the bushes and big black things come running out of the bushes at you. So I don't think my bear spray's been in and out of that pouch at fast in about, oh, I don't even tell you how many years. There's a whole bunch of black cattle down in here, big ones and small ones. So yeah, my bear spray pouch has had a bit of a workout today. Right, let me get that tree moved out of there and then I can get on my way. Done and dusted. Whew, that's a fairly heavy tree. I had to cut it once. That was good. Over there and just kind of roll it around that way. Yes, I must admit, this big saw of mine, the 500, makes light work of it. It's not a particularly big tree. It's not a fairly big tree. It's very hard wood. Yeah, like I say, that is a real shame because I had a really good picture of that tree come down through here with the snow one time. Oh well, everything has to fall down, I guess. I shall leave that bit there. The cows have gone quiet now. I think they've moved on. I think I was bugging them. They don't like sounds in the forest. They tend to move out pretty quick. Right, let me get all this gear back on and I can get on my way. Back down there. Well, I decided to do a different trail. One that I haven't done in a very long time actually. So I'm going to head up round the back of this way. And I've been using this trail for the best part of 25 years. And I just bumped into, believe it or not, a French guy on a bicycle who was lost. He said there's no trail, he said it's all grass. I said yeah, because nobody ever uses this trail. But I noticed the tape and everything's up in here, so I think they're going to be logging some of this here, up through here soon. But literally, I just bumped into the first guy I have ever seen on this trail in 25 years, ever. He was up camping at like one of the local campsites. Decided to go exploring, but his map showed it as a good trail. But it actually, if you don't know where you're going on this trail, it's really easy to get lost. And down in the bottom here is somewhere you really do not want to get lost. It is Swamp Mageddon down in the bottom here. So it, yeah, good job he turned around. Wise move. Right, I'm going to continue on that way and see if I can see any trees on the trail. Now, much of this trail looks very much like this. It there is actually a route round here, if you can follow it, kinda. They have marked it with the dreaded pink and black tape, which means the logging people are coming. They logged this, see the pink and black, that's where the road's going to go, so they are going to use this as a haul road probably. So I'm not clearing any of these bits of deadfall on this one, but I thought I would walk it one more time while it's still a forest, because I suspect in the next year, maybe two, I don't know, they usually mark them out well in advance, but they will come and cut all this lot. It is scheduled for cutting. Trees are a good size in here, so yeah. This is why the guy on the bike turned around. He said there's no trail. There is if you know where it goes, but if you don't know where it goes and you're trying to follow a map, which he was, best of luck with that. Right, let me put this away until I get further down. This is why people get lost when they come this way. If you go up there, this is, believe it or not, is a Y junction. If you go up that way, you are committed to going over the top of Dawson Hill. And that is pretty rough up in that forest, that top piece of forest. This bottom bit's fine. The top bit of forest up there you can see is much older growth. Going up over the top of that one, and you can go up over the top of there. I've done that a few times. However, you get up the top and you think, oh, I'll get a good view out towards the mountains, but you don't. So what you need to do is actually turn here. This is actually the trail, believe it or not, down through this way. As you can see, not too many people use this, Only thing that uses this pretty much at the moment is cows and deer. So this is actually the trail, and because it's so potholey and full of cow footprints, I am going to switch this off for a bit until I get round the other side. So that last little bit turned out to be a bit swampy, so I have made a slight detour and come up a little bit higher on this trail than I normally do. The cows know the best way. If you look all the way through here, you can see something came through here. Let's see, the grass is pushed over. That's cows. Ironically, where I was this morning, all those cows were, where I was clearing trees, is about, if I went exactly that way for about a kilometre and a half, 2 kilometres, that's where I was this morning. So had I known I was coming across here, I could have just swung round. Yes, that Y junction I was telling you about just now, back there, that I can see why it's kind of got detoured up around this way, because that's got very wet down in the bottom there. Looks like there's a whole bunch of trees down in there, and I don't think it's allowing it to drain. So the cow slept there last night. Let's see, the grass is all squished down. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, good job the guy on the bike turned around, because he'd have got lost pretty quick up in here. I've done this trail many times. I've got a good idea where I'm going. Yeah, something else laid there last night too, let's see. Right. The only thing with this trail is, because it is very wet, some of the holes, the hoof prints and stuff, can be pretty rough. So let me put this down before I fall down one. Right, I've got to show you this, because the turn off at the Y junction that turned really swampy, that is actually the trail. And many years ago, I was looking on Google Maps, I saw this big brown square out in the forest, and I thought to myself, hey, I must go and have a look at that. It could be a cabin or something, you know. So like you do, you have to go and explore. Anyway, when I got here, this is what I found. For some reason, there is a huge pile of old logs here that got left, like a big log pile, and it's just sat here rotting. But if you look on Google Maps and what have you, it actually looks like a square cabin, but it's actually not. So, and as you can see, it's a bit rough in here. The trail I need is actually down the bottom of the hill that way, but I know if I go through the forest this way and head basically exactly towards the sun, head south, that'll take me out, and then I can head down the slope and hopefully get down back onto something resembling a trail. Yeah, so if you see this on Google Maps and you're out in this part of the world, this is the back end of Dawson Hill. If you see this and you think it might be a cabin, it is not. It is a pile of rotting wood. I made that mistake about 2 or 3 years ago. Right, anyway, I shall continue, because this sun's pretty warm. Well, as luck would have it, I started following the cows' route, because they obviously know the best way, and I actually found another really good way through here. I didn't know you could actually get down through this piece, but you can. It's actually way nicer indeed. Yeah, cuts all that really swampy bit off. Up around this area, it is so easy to turn left or turn right and end up in the middle of a swamp. The big mountain that's right in front over those trees that you can't see, it's called Moose Mountain, and it's a very aptly named mountain, because pretty much the only thing that can walk around it is moose. Because look at this. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's good. I just found another shortcut. Didn't know this one was here. See the things you find when you start stomping around the forest. Right, I'm going to continue on that way until I get in some decent forest and a bit of shade, and I'm going to sit and have something to eat. Right, just as a point of reference, that hill right in front of me through the trees, if I can get any kind of a view of it, is Dawson Hill. And really, the route I was on just now would have taken me, excuse me, let's get that untangled, there we go, would have taken me up over the top of that one. And although it doesn't look much of a hill, it's actually pretty steep up in there. So this trail kind of follows it up around the other side. A couple of very nice little lakey things in there, but I suspect they're probably pretty dry now. But yeah, only thing I've seen up through this way, some deer tracks and cows. Yeah. Oh dear, it's pretty warm, I can tell you. If it wasn't for that breeze, I wouldn't be doing this trip, because I've got to go up here, do a bit of a U-turn, and then come back around the bottom end of that mountain. Right, let's put this away until I get around that corner. Right, stop for a break. Very important. You find yourself keep going. This heat is actually pretty bad. But this is actually the trail, believe it or not. This is the best bit of the trail. This is the easy bit to follow. Once I get round through this open piece, I'm about to come into a really wide open area, so I'm going to cross that pretty fast. And then I'm back into the thicker forest on the other side, so it'll be much cooler. So that'd be nice. Yeah. But this side is pretty hot. The other side of the mountain, much cooler. Right. Always make sure you stop, have a water break, something to eat. Just add some salty snacks. Peanuts and goldfish. Love goldfish. Quite often bring goldfish with me. Right. I'm heading that way, and I'll do some more when I get down the trail. Right. If you're coming around this trail, you do get some views of mountains. That there is Moose Mountain, right in the middle of the shot. Off to that side is Cox Hill. Not going to see much more down through there, I think. Let's have that one off the trail there. There we go. Yes, like I say, if you don't know this trail, it's a bit of a what's it to find your way around. All the butterflies have it. Loads of them there, everywhere. They really do like the thistles. Look. Thistles are covered in them. That. So you can keep all your touristy trails or your fantastic views of, you know, big snowy mountains and all that kind of stuff. Yes, it looks very nice and rest of it, but sitting watching a dozen butterflies and all kinds of other insects and that milling around on the thistles, that actually makes for a very good day, eh? And that makes for a good backdrop. Right, I need to keep going because I need to get out of this sun. I need to get round to the forest the other side. That shows you a difference, eh? Last time I was here, that was all full of water. That is actually quite a nice pond when it's full of water. Good resource for wildlife, I guess. Yeah, I can cut straight across and through the forest over that way. And if I go that way, it'll just take me onto the next trail and just turn right. That hill up over that way, that is like Cox Hill, and all that downhill along there, that's where all the mountain bikers will be today. Yeah, because they would like to be there. The other side of these trees that you can't see is Moose Mountain. And all up through here is incredibly hot, incredibly overgrown. But I keep seeing the pink and black tape for logging, so I think they're going to re-establish this road fairly soon. So that's why I'm taking this opportunity to come around here. Now, I have to cross an open bit. I'm just going to get into the shade here a bit. I have to cross an open bit here, and on my left hand side at the bottom of that open bit there was actually a very nice little lake, so I'm going to see if that actually has any water in it. Now ironically, that there is Dawson Hill. As you can see, you don't really get, even if you went up the top of there, you don't really get much of a view from up there. You get some view, but not a lot. If I'd have carried on up that steep piece that was on earlier, I'd have gone right up over the top of that and back down the other side, but it is a bit rough up in there. And there was a trail once, but it's so overgrown, it's you're basically bushwhacking all the way up there and all the way down. When I got to here, last time I was here, this is where I got a really strong smell of fire smoke, like fresh forest fire smoke. You can tell the difference between what's burning now and what's kind of blowing on the wind, and it was really strong. So I got the hell out of here, which is behind me that way, about 5 or 6 kilometers back to where I needed to be. And it turned out the Forest Service were actually doing controlled burns in the forest, so that was actually good. But that's not a good thing to get all the way out here, because trust me, this is the middle of nowhere, to get all the way out here and then suddenly smell really strong fresh forest fire smoke. So I will put this away, and I'm hoping there was a tree down the other side when you get into the older growth forest a bit further up. I'm hoping that tree is still there, because if it is, I'm going to stop and have a lunch break there. Well, this is the very nice lake. Last time I came here there was a duck in the middle of here, and I can't actually see any ducks now. What I can see is an absolute abundance of dragonflies, all dotting around all over the show, because this area is absolutely full of mosquitoes. Look at the number of dragonflies in here. Dragonflies everywhere. You see them dancing around in the air like that. People think they're just flying around and doing crazy stuff. They're not. They're actually pulling mosquitoes out of the air. You see them skimming along the surface of the water looking for the mosquitoes, which is great. Please eat more, eat more, eat more, eat as many as you want. Yeah. Yep. It makes a good spot to stop. However, yeah, it's not easy to get into this little bit, unfortunately. The forest is, as you can see, pretty much there. And you have to stomp all over everything just to get in here, no matter which way you go. But there's loads and loads and loads of dragonflies in here. Look at them. Oh yes, this is good to see. Nature's way of controlling everything. See, you get a glut of mosquitoes, then you get a whole pile of dragonflies wandering around clearing them up. Average dragonfly eats about 100 mosquitoes a day, so please eat as many as you can. When you think dragonflies, back in like dinosaur times, way back when, they were nearly 3 feet across. I can tell you now, if these dragonflies were 3 feet across, there is no way I would be stood here, because I'd be lunch. Yeah. But this makes the walk around here very worthwhile. The wildlife and the bugs and everything's absolutely amazing. Look at it. But that sun is absolutely amazing, amazingly hot. So I will retreat to the forest, which is back through this way. Unfortunately, I have to do quite a bit of tree hopping to get out of here. As you can see. There's a bit tumble down in here. So at least, look at it. Yeah, but this is a natural forest. This is what forests do. Forests grow, trees fall down, they rot away, leave holes in the canopy, new trees grow. All these trees rot away. Look at this. These holes here. You can see there's something, when this was stood upright, something obviously burrowed into the tree. But, oh, let's get out of that sun. Oh, that's nice. It's amazing. Once you get out of that sun, it's actually very nice. Oh, and I got a breeze too. Only reason I'm doing this trip today is because there's actually a very nice breeze. We may actually get a thunderstorm this afternoon, which won't be too bad. I do have my ponchos and stuff with me, but unfortunately that is the way to the lake. It's really easy to walk right past here and not even know there's a lake in there. There's not much water in it actually, because it usually comes up quite a lot higher. But as you can see, it's a great trail. Around this trail is really nice. It's one of those trails that you'll see on a map that nobody walks, because there's quite a lot of route finding, and there's so many cattle trails and that down in here. It is really easy to get off the beaten path and find yourself wandering up the side of a hill like I did earlier. I knew I was going the wrong way. I could have gone up over the top, but I really didn't fancy doing that walk. So this is much nicer. So I am cooling down in the forest. Oh, that's so nice. I'm going to enjoy the view of the little lake in there, and I'm going to have a drink of water, and then I'm going to head on my way. Right, that's where I'm going, that way. Right, that's that bit done. Now I'm trying to head back into the older growth forest. This is all the forest I think they're about to cut. So the tree that I was hoping would be in the shade isn't. So I will go down here. I know I'll go around the corner in a minute, so hopefully, because at the moment this is my shadow, right? So I'm heading, it's midday o'clock, so I'm heading dead north. This is pink and black tape on the side here. That's what they use for road marking when we're going to do a haul road for logging. And looking at the size of these trees, these are all harvestable size trees now. So, like I say, that is my main reason for doing this walk on one of the hottest days of the year. Oh, it must be nuts. It's a very nice walk though. Oh, I can hear some wind. Yes. It's the only trouble with really tall trees. The wind doesn't hit the ground much. It's nice if you happen to get it blowing down between the trees. Oh, that is so good, because it kind of funnels it in the trail. But if it's above the trees. See, I can see the tops of the trees moving. Yeah, but there's no wind here at ground level. If you have a 50% porous windbreak, it reduces the wind speed by 50%, but 8 times its height. So if you look at all these trees are 80 to 100 feet. So it reduces the wind speed for probably 1,000 feet either side of the trees if it was a straight line. But since it's a forest, most of that wind is not going to reach the ground no matter what. So my only hope is to go around these corners up here in a minute and find that I'm back in the shade. That is my hope. Right, let's put this down. I'm going to get a move on. And here we are again. Heart attack bird. See? These little grouse on the side there. Oh, there's 2 of them. The other one's going up in the scrub there. Look, see? How well camouflaged those guys are. Look at it. Stood right there. You can hardly even see it. The other one's literally right in the bush in front of me. They make that really, really nice sound. Look at that. Yeah, I can see you. Only just. Oh, there's the other one. Going off down through there. Look. Yeah. Absolutely amazing birds. But you've got to be careful because you can almost step on these guys. That's why I call them heart attack birds. Because then suddenly they move. Right, I'm just going to show you this bit. If you do Dawson's Hill and decide to go up over the top, chances are you'll come down through this piece here. Every time I've come over there, you tend to migrate into this piece. It's pretty much the only easy way off the top of that hill. There is a long, thin, tapered old cut line. Not very good. That's the way I've just come. Yeah, I'm now on what would be the west side of Dawson Hill. Dawson Hill's up there, and my trail back is that way. Absolutely brilliant, lovely trail. I've got a bit of shade too, and with that breeze, so nice. Oh, listen to that wind. Oh yeah, let's have some more of that. Huff and puff and huff and puff. Yeah, it's good. Right, I'm going that way. Right, if you follow the Dawson Loop trail all the way around, now I've come round it clockwise, you'll eventually come to this bridge. Well, what's left of it. It used to be a very nice bridge, but the far bank got washed out in the floods of 2013 and it fell in the hole. And unfortunately, it's not been rebuilt, but since they're going to do some logging up in here, I suspect they're going to have to do something about that crossing. So now, that'll bring you to here. This is actually a very important Y junction, because get the shade. If you go up that way and then turn left, this is the Trans-Canada Trail runs across here. So if you go up that way and then turn left, that will take you to Dawson Equestrian. And if you go up this little side chute here, which I'm going to do, that'll take you to the right, which is basically heading east. That will take you back towards the demonstration forest. Right, so left for Dawson, right for demo forest. Right, the little trail there on the left hand side, that just goes down to the broken bridge, and that trail there, if you follow it, takes you across to Dawson. That's the Trans-Canada Trail. There's an old burn barrel there, but I wouldn't be using that for anything. There's fire restrictions and that, all kinds of things on the go at the moment. Like some idiots had a fire there or whatever. Maybe they tipped that out of there, who knows. Yeah, actually it looks like the debris out of that can. Yeah, right, so this along here is also Trans-Canada Trail. This is heading back towards the demonstration forest. It's a very easy short walk along here now. This is also called Tom Snow Trail, Trans-Canada Trail, Dawson Connector. It's got all kinds of names, but this way to the demo forest, that way takes you to Dawson. And that is the complete loop around Dawson Hill. Very little in the way of views. Very nice walk. It really is a nice walk. You won't see anybody on that trail. It's not really a bike friendly trail. Yeah, and on the east side of that hill there is a lot of route finding to find, because the cows have made trails in every which direction you can imagine. And it as long as you keep the mountain, if you're going around clockwise, as long as you keep the mountain on your right hand side, you're going in the right direction. Right, I'm going to head back along here. This is a really easy walk now. Well, here I am back at the start. This is the start and finish, whichever way you go, of the Dawson Hill loop. I prefer to go around clockwise, so I cross this creek first, go up that hill, follow it all the way around, because on the east side of this there's a lot of route finding to do up through there because of all the cows and stuff. So it's one that I've done many times, so I'm very familiar with that. But if you're not really good at route finding and you need a well-trodden trail, this is not the trail for you. If you are looking for a trail with absolutely stunning far-reaching views, again, that is not the trail for you. So I usually go that way, come back this way. But if you're looking for a trail where you can walk for half a day, 3/4 of a day, not bump into a single solitary person, there are some views. And let me get over here in the shade. There are some views up there. There's some amazing little creeks and places to just stop and look at the wildlife and what have you. It saw loads of deer, lots of bear crap up in there as well, so be careful of that. I must have seen 5 or 6 piles of bear crap up through there. None of it really fresh, so that was good. So I tend to go that way and come back that way. Again, that's the Dawson Hill Loop. Very uneventful, but nevertheless an amazing walk. Right, I can't remember the actual kilometers, so I will put that on the end of the video when I've got it all done. Right, time for me to head home.